Hey, what's up guys? Craig Peters here, and welcome to episode 1 of Plug and Play. And I'm pretty excited about today because we're going to be checking out a very cool string library from a company called Cinematic Strings. And the VST we're going to be checking out is Cinematic Strings 2, and it's a very cool, easy to use string library that has tons of different articulations and is very easy to use. So let's get inside the computer and start checking it out. Alright, so before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about what Cinematic Strings 2 has and play a little demo that was provided from the guys at Cinematic Strings 2. On their YouTube channel, they have a few MIDI links that you can download and throw in here so you can kind of see how they go about setting up their articulations and modulations and stuff like that. So I have those MIDI files loaded up in here. I have my first, second violins, basses, cellos, a full ensemble, and violas. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that for you now, and then we'll go and check out the GUI, check out all the things that Cinematic Strings 2 has to offer. So here we go. Alright, so first off, this is a very nice sounding string library. This is a little bit of an older library. It's not their newest one. They have a newer one that actually just came out called Cinematic Studio Strings, which sounds even better than this. So let's go and break down a few of the things that I think are cool about this. Let's go ahead and let's open it up and see what's going on in here. Alright, so here we go. We have all of our patches loaded up. And the first thing that I noticed that I thought was really cool about this compared to some other libraries is that it has all the articulations lined up, but it's also, you can change the different keys that you want to change the different articulations, and also you can turn them off. So you can see right here, if you want to turn this off, let's say you don't want these, you can just turn them off, which also frees up RAM. So if, let's say, you're like, you know what, I don't really use half trills and whole trills, you could take those off. I'm not really a big marcato guy, I'd take that off. Or I like pizzicatos. I want to leave run mode, tremolos, and arcos. Let's say that's all you want. Or if you don't even, if let's say you just want arcos, you can just use that. So that's a cool thing, is you have the option to take those off. Yeah, so with the staccato articulations, you have the option of having staccatissimos or staccatos. And you can also fluctuate between the both with either the mod wheel or velocity. So you hear the staccatissimo are a little bit more of a shorter articulation, as if the violinist was bouncing the bow on the string. Staccato is just more of a short note, but you can hear it sort of extend a little bit. So you have that option to go in between both. And Arco, it's just your basic, you know. And one of the things I thought was really cool about this string library too is how smooth the mod wheel is when you're going from a lower velocity to a higher velocity. It starts off very... very smooth, and sometimes with other sample libraries you'll hear this jump in velocity. It'll be like and they'll just kind of shoot up a little too aggressive and it's not smooth. With these it's very smooth. There's also this run mode, which is super cool for because one of the things with string libraries, it's really easy to give it away if it doesn't sound real, and this run mode is cool because it sort of blends together a short note with a half trill, so it gives it that sort of a slurred vibe, sort of like if you were listening to a real orchestra play. Not everyone's playing exactly in time, so it kind of blends that in together to give it more of a smoother sound. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and play these little passages of some faster played notes, and I want you to keep an eye out for the articulation window, because I want to show you how you can program the articulations in with these runs to get sort of that faster played sound that you might want. And you'll see is right here it's going to jump into the run mode. So let's go ahead and check that out. So you can hear how that sounds really smooth, and yeah, so this string library is just really nice. I mean, there's tons of other ones, but for the price and for how this sounds, you can't really beat it. Yeah, this string library has more of a sort of Hollywood, John Williams-esque sort of sound. Let's go ahead and check out some of the higher velocities. Alright, so let's go ahead and check these out now. Now these have a little more of... Here, let's go ahead and check it out inside. These have... Yeah, so these are some of the more lower velocities. Now, these ones are a little bit more higher up in the velocities, so you can really hear the attack. But that's one of the things I really liked about when I heard this, is finding violin sounds that have that really nice sharp attack, but still sounds intimate sounding, as if you were in the room with them. So that's one of the things I thought was really cool. So let's go ahead and check this out now. Yeah, so very nice. And you can see right here how it switched to staccato, because right down here, that's the staccato key switch that was used to make this switch to a staccato note. So that's the cool thing, is some libraries have it broken down like maybe Symphobia, something like that, where you can load up each individual patch of staccatos, pizzicatos, etc. What's cool about this is you don't need to have a patch for each one unless that's more of your workflow. But if, let's say, you just want to have 5 patches of first, second violins, some cellos, basses, and you want to switch out the articulations with a key switch, that to me, it's a little more easier. Maybe the other way is a lot easier because you can just go right to that track and then change it. But I mean, it's really not that hard to program the articulations, and I think the way they have everything laid out, it's honestly really easy to use compared to some other ones that I've seen. Alright, yeah, so going back into Cinematic Strings 2, there's also a lot of options for reverb. There's a live mode, which is pretty cool. Live mode just kind of gives it an extra little bit of realism amongst, if you use that in conjunction with run mode, it's going to have a really nice fluid sound. But yeah, it has its own reverb, which is built into it, which sounds pretty nice. Here, let's go ahead and Yeah, so that's great for adding that sort of big full ensemble sort of sound to fill out everything else. Let's see. Yeah, so here, I'm gonna play you one of the sections in the demo, and I want you to hear one of the things that I think is really cool about having the first and second violins. Both of them together really fill each other out, but one of the things I really liked about the second violins is it has a little more of that personal sound. It sounds like there's, some violinists around you and you can really hear every little scrape of the bow, which I thought was really cool and something that I've been looking for in a library as well. Now let's hear it with both. So you can hear how it really fills out more of the violin sounds. So it has that little more of a up close and personal, and then and here's just the full ensemble. The full ensemble, you can really hear where it sounds getting good is when some of the more higher modulation starts coming in. Like right here. Now let's check out the violas. Yeah, I really like how these sound. Especially when you blend them with the first and second violins. Yeah, so really great string library. I mean, honestly, for the price, you can't beat it. Even though this is an older library, a lot of people are still using it. So, if you want to add that more of a Hollywood sort of sound with your strings, definitely check out Cinematic Strings 2. And also make sure to check out Cinematic Studio Strings, which is a new library that they just released, which honestly has more articulations and sounds even better. So, I mean, go ahead, make sure to check out their website. I'll have their link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later on Plug and Play.